What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing my top 10 offenses for the 2021 season. I'm going to be doing all the defenses, offenses, O-line, special teams, maybe special teams, probably just offense, defense, and O-line, head coaches as well. And then, so I'm just going to be doing that. And then I'll be doing my official, I'll do my award predictions, and then I'll do, of course, the predictions. I deleted my other videos because I just did them too early. But here we are, top 10 offenses. Let's get into it. Starting off at 10, the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings don't get enough credit, all right? The Minnesota Vikings have the most electrifying running back in football in Dalvin Cook. Now he's not the best. Now he's not the fastest. Now he's not the toughest. Now he's not the strongest. Now he's not the best in the receiving game. But he is the most electrifying. He can make big plays all the time. Kirk Cousins isn't bad either. Kirk Cousins takes way too much heat. He threw 35 touchdowns last year. You have a young Justin Jefferson who just broke Randy Moss's receiving touchdown record, and he's just going to keep on developing. Adam Thielen, who didn't get enough spotlight, caught 14 touchdowns last year, and then this team's just going to be very good. Don't sleep on them, and I think it's easily a top 10 offense. 9 is the Titans, as you would expect. 9 is the Titans. Now they got Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry is a monster. All right, Derrick Henry, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked if he broke Adrian Peterson's. I think it was Adrian Peterson's 2,100 yard in a season record this year. He was very close to it this season, but now with Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith out of the offense, they're going to rely more on the run, and Derrick Henry's going to get the ball a lot more, and I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up 2,100 plus yards. They also brought in, they didn't bring in much on the offensive side of the ball. Ryan Tannehill's still a very underrated quarterback, and A.J. Brown's going to get a ton of targets. I'm hoping I can see him do very well, and I wouldn't be surprised if he pops off either, because he will be getting most of the targets. The wide receiver 2 is Josh Reynolds, a big drop off right there. The 8 is the Baltimore Ravens. They used to be top 3. The NFL Network still has them at 2. I think that's absurd. I think the Ravens have been figured out, and I don't think I think it's foolish to put them as a top 5 offense. I think their running game is still great. J.K. Dobbins is developing. But Lamar Jackson, he's not the best in the receiving game. I know they brought in Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins is only good. He's only good for the first 2 games of the year where he pops off, and then he gets hurt, and for the rest, and then he's quiet. Marquise Brown, same thing. The Ravens, they're not top 5 anymore, but they still have a strong enough run and attack to be in the top 10. 7 is the Seattle Seahawks. 7, the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, they have a deadly dynamic duo in the Seahawks franchise that we did with, of course, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, who are both great players and great receivers. They also brought Chris Carson back, they brought Chris Carson back. And if he can stay healthy, he's an above average running back. Russell Wilson, obviously, top 5 quarterback. I just don't see how this team isn't a top 10 offense. But they improved the line, and they brought in Gerald Everett. So I think it's still going to be a lot like last year. But I could see them being top 5. 6 is the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I know people are going to question this, but the Cowboys, the reason why they're not a 1-15 team or 1-16 team is because of their offense. Ezekiel Elliott's overhated. Zeke still had good stats. He fumbled 6 times. Yes, I know that. But he was dealing with one of the worst O-lines in the league with Tyron Smith out and Lael Collins out. They really just didn't. Travis Frederick retiring, so they had no line. So I think with the offensive lineman returning to protect him, you got Dak Prescott returning, you got Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb is going to progress. The Cowboys are a good offense. It's just about the defense, and if they can connect on the defensive side of the ball, this team will win the division. 5 is the Green Bay Packers. Like I said in the Power Rankings video, Aaron Rodgers is not gone yet. And until Aaron Rodgers is gone, this team is a top 5 offense. All right, they got Aaron Jones out of the backfield, incredibly good out of the backfield, had 16 touchdowns in 2019. He was absolutely lethal. You also, well, that was in 2019. 2020 was still very good. A.J. Dillon, who's also progressing, he's going to be a great power back. They got Devontae Adams, the second best receiver the best receiver in the league, who mainly the reason why he's the best in the league is because he's taken the most targets. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a drop off like Michael Thomas had. If they surprisingly, I don't know, but the Packers, they still have a top 5 offense. Aaron Rodgers is still on the team. 4, Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills may seem a little high, but the Bills are they still have one of the best wide receiver quarterback duos in the league, and Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs had the most receiving yards and touchdowns last year. People are still saying he's not top 5. People having Justin Jefferson over him, DK Metcalf over him, Julio Jones over him. I think it's silly to think that the Bills, if Josh Allen can play like he did last year with Stephon Diggs, they're going to be a top 5 offense. The Bills, as for the running game, I don't think it's good, neither with the offense of line, but you got the receivers and the quarterback connection. It's off the charts. 3 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers pretty much retained all their free agents. I mean, they retained, at least we won't talk about the defense. We'll talk about it next year because obviously they'll be on that list too. But offensively, they retained Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, Antonio Brown. They extended Tom Brady. I mean, it's off the charts. I mean, you got the 2 and Chris Godwin. You got a very good wide receiver duo in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, a good third option, Antonio Brown. You also, and Scotty Miller's there too. You also got that really good running back duo with Leonard Fournette, Lombardi Lenny, and Ronald Jones. Gronk's still the best tight end, best blocking tight end in football, best tight end of all time. The Bucks still have a top 10 O line. It's the Bucks are. I could see them being the best offense in the league, but for now, I just have them at 3. 2 is the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs. The reason why they're not 1 is because they have a trio of Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hill. And other than that, I don't see anything special. Yeah, they brought in Tooney. Yeah, they brought in Orlando Brown, but they lost the 2 best tackles in football, Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz. Now, I know they're both into their 30s, but it doesn't, as an offensive lineman, age doesn't matter. You have guys like Travis Frederick, who is in his late 30s and still playing at a high level. You have Andrew Whitworth in his late 30s playing at a high level. Age doesn't matter on the offensive line. And I just don't think the offensive line's getting much better. And other than that trio, I don't see anything special in this Chiefs offense, but that trio is just so good to give them the number 2 spot. Number 1 is the Cleveland Browns. You can say what you want. The Browns have the best offense in the league, at least in my opinion. The Browns, we all know they got the amazing running game with Nick Chubb, the tank, and the all-around good Kareem Hunt. Baker Mayfield has obviously been progressing at a high level since he was drafted. Odell Beckham is going to be returning. They just have gotten so good, much better. Defensively, they've gotten so much better as well. But offensively, Odell's back, and they already have a top 3 O line, top 5 O line, if not top 3 O line. They got the best running game in football, probably. Baker Mayfield, severely underrated, probably a top 10. So the Browns, I think they're taking too much heat, and I don't think they're getting the recognition they deserve to be a top 5 team. Yeah, I know their logo's ugly, but they still are the best offense in the league, at least in my opinion. Thanks for watching. Leave a like for part 2 predicting the top 10 defenses. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me your thoughts on the list and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.